Hey guys, it's Krista here with Outgrowing, and on this episode today, we are going to be planting some cool tolerant perennials. So I'm at the farm. We're just starting to gear up for planting the garden. I have planted a very few things. Yesterday, excuse the wind, I hope it's not too bad. I'm trying to hide out in the corner here. Yesterday I did plant some veg. I planted some potatoes, onion, peas, lettuce, radish, and bunching onions. So I planted those yesterday, and then the day before I actually planted some wildflowers, some hollyhocks, all this by seed. So everything I planted so far is by seed or by a set, onion sets, and of course potatoes by the tubers. These are the first plants I'm going to plant out. It's been the last 2 nights we have had frost here at the farm, but now for the foreseeable future, it looks like we are going to be good to go here. It will get cold, cooler temps at night, but what I'm planting here is Foxglove, Yarrow, and Shasta Daisies, and they can handle some of those cooler temps. The Shasta Daisies, maybe, I'm not 100% sure about them, but I have perennial ones planted and they're all up and doing fine. And these actually were outside. I forgot these outside the other night and it did dip below zero, and check them out. Like, they still look fine. They can handle it. So I am actually going to get these in the ground before I head back home today, because I don't want them sitting in the house here at the farm because they'll probably get forgotten about. Mark's really busy right now. The farm's happening, seeding, fencing, all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get going. Here's my little perennial garden here behind me, but I'm actually gonna be planting them out in the big garden. I have the front of it, I want it to be all perennials. So I am starting to plant things all throughout the front that will permanently stay there. I do have a little bit of a quack grass problem, so I don't know if this is a smart idea or a bad idea, but anyways, last year in the fall, I actually did spray these areas. I know, that's not for everybody, but when you're dealing with a farm that has quack grass everywhere, you sometimes have to pull out that. So I sprayed the front of the garden there where I want to plant the perennials and where I want them to stay, because it's going to be a forever battle for me. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I'm going to get planting these, you guys. We are in zone 3 Saskatchewan. So it's been a bit of a cooler spring so far. We had a few really, really hot days and then quite a few really cool days. We've had some rain. We've had all that stuff. So I'm just going to get cracking, get these in the ground. This is kind of the first seedling tray that I am going to plant, and then I will start hauling seedlings here for the next couple weekends to get those all in the ground and see how everything comes to life here in the next little bit. So come along with me, you guys, while we get these in the ground. First. Okay, you guys, so this is where I'm going to plant this tray of perennials. As you can see, I've worked up a little area over here. There is a little bit of weed pressure still in there, but that's no sweat. So here I have perennials already planted in these areas. I've got Rudbeckia, Shasta Daisies, and Yarrow, and then I plan to plant all perennials in this front area all the way up there. So yeah, I'm gonna get doing that, and then in that dirt area back there, that's where I've planted the wildflowers, more hollyhocks up in there. Yeah, more hollyhocks, and a couple other seeds up there as well. So they're perennial as well. And then over here to the right is where I've started to plant some veggies. So you guys, I'm going to get cracking and start planting here. All right, I just want to show you guys here one of the seedlings that I started myself. This entire tray, well, in fact, most of the plants I'm planting out are ones that I've started, but check it out. That nice root, that's not a root ball, but that nice clump of roots there. When they kind of start twisting up a bit, I will break them apart with my fingers, just as I did to plant them, just so that they start to grow outward as opposed to continually wrapping around themselves. So yeah, just get in there, break them up a bit, and then plant them in the ground and you're good to go. Okay, so I've got the Shastas, the Yarrow, and the Foxglove planted over in the big perennial beds that I wanted to get planted. But now I'm hiding out here in the little mini perennial garden. And I'm planting the remainder of the Foxglove and the Shasta Daisies in here. Hopefully it's not too windy. I'm trying to hide out. But so Foxglove, you can get them as a perennial, a biannual. I don't know if they come just as an annual. I got my glove stuck on here. And to be quite frank with you, I don't remember what these are because I have had the seed for so long that's why I planted all of them. I was like, it's been so long that I didn't even know if they would germinate. And to my surprise, they germinated like crazy. And they were the pelleted seeds. So those are the seeds that have a little coating on them. So I'm very surprised. Some of a different variety, but I can't remember if this one's the creme, cafe creme or something, I think maybe. And then I have a lavender one that only 2 of the lavender ones did survive. But I'm planting a little patch of them up here because I have a few left over and I wanted to see what they will do. So if they are biannual, they will grow their greenery this year and then flower the following year, kind of similar to that of a hollyhock. And if they are perennial, they typically are they would call them like a tender perennial, I think, and where they would only really grow for about 3 to 5 years. But the thing about the thing about Foxglove is that they go to seed so easily. And so once they flower, they drop seed. And then that's kind of how they get the reputation for being a perennial flower. So that's kind of cool. I'm hoping that happens for me. But I only started growing Foxglove last year. I grew some and I planted some in my garden at home, at my house. And so last year they grew the greenery. This year I'm anticipating that they're going to grow beautiful, tall. They can grow, I think, 3 feet, even taller probably. These big, beautiful stems of bell-like flowers. So I'm very excited about that. I'm just planting them here in this little corner patch. I'm going to get a bunch of them going on here. And then the other thing to do when you plant these Foxgloves is like once they start to establish a patch, you can dig up clumps of them and replant them somewhere else. So that's kind of handy. The other one that I'm going to plant here is the remainder of the Shasta Daisies. Now, Shasta Daisies, everyone has told me, Krista, that's a mistake because they spread and they go crazy. Well, that's what I want. I want perennials to spread and go crazy out here. I want to have a huge perennial garden, a patch, and I want it to I have so much space, so why the heck not? So that's what I'm planting those for. I do believe that those are a perennial. They'll continue to come back for as long as the perennials do survive. I know sometimes there's winter kill and all that stuff, and so they don't necessarily always survive, but I have a lot of them. And I suspect I will at least get a little patch going on and hopefully be able to continue to plant from there. So you guys, that is going to wrap it up for me for the first weekend of planting. It isn't, I'm trying to hold off as best as I can to plant the majority of the stuff because it is just not that warm here in Zone 3 in Saskatchewan right now. We are pretty chilly. And as much as we love to think our plants will do great, plants do like it warmer, to be honest. There are some things like lettuce and radishes and peas. Yes, your brassica crops, those types of things that do not love it very hot. But for the majority of the flowers and whatnot, they do like the heat and a lot of vegetables as well. So I've been trying very patiently to hold off and just wait until I can plant when it's warmer out. So the next 2 weekends will look really nice. So I will be really, really, really into it. But yeah, this is the start. So in Zone 3, we are starting our planting. It's a little bit slower than usual, but we're getting out here and planting a few things and getting our hands in the dirt anyways. So thank you guys for watching. I'll have lots more videos of planting coming up here in the future and all the fun stuff that happens in the garden. So please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you like this video, well, give me a thumbs up and then we'll check you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.